I hope y'all are high with me because I can make y'all a promise. I am high, and I'm always going to be high when I'm talking to you. So I hope you guys are high listening to me. What's up, guys? College Stoner Kid here, and I am going to tell you a video today about the time I was with my friend and his buddy, and the cops pulled us over while we were blunt cruising, and we had to eat the weed and everything. And it's going to be a little bit longer of a video because I got to tell you about my kid, like to set up the story, my friend to set this story up. I just got off of doing 2 GB rips and drinking some stem tea, so I'm pretty heavily medicated right now. Also drinking them on Bud Light Platinum. I'm a big beer fan, big alcohol fan in general, and beer goes good with weeds because of the terpenes in it. But we'll get that. We'll save that for a different video. So I have this friend who is a big stoner. Everybody in town knows him as a big stoner. He's done everything: LSD. He likes coke, weed, Molly, Ritalin, all that kind of stuff. My gosh, I got this bad chest cold going on. I apologize for that, guys. I've had it going on since about Christmas. I just can't seem to beat it. I don't know what it is. But anyways, he has been busted by the cops now 3 times with weed down here since he's been down here in our college town. And the first time the cops like followed him to the school and waited until this kid got out of his car and like then came they like all the kids all the kids all the cops came in and like got the campus police to come and they all like surrounded his car and made him get out and they searched him and they found his weed and they found his roach clear and everything and basically they just started talking to him and everything and he admitted to it and he told him, he said, look, and he like told him that he hadn't had a good life, he didn't have good parents growing up, and he just got down here to college, and he's had some trouble with alcohol, and he almost drank and killed himself when he was doing Adderall and alcohol, and he's just been having a rough time. He says, with at least weed, I can actually, just kind of forget all that. I'm not drinking. I'm doing better with my drinking and my Adderall addiction, and with weed I can still get my work done with class and everything. And basically the police like sucked his story up and took it, and they let him go. Like they just confiscated it. And one funny part was he, the cop was like, "So what is this?" He's like, "Oh, look, I'll show you." And he's like, "All right, so you just put your mouth here, and you put the roach here, and you light here." And he like explained how to use the roach clear, and the cops were like, "Oh, oh yeah, now I see." But anyways, and then he got pulled over another time when he got searched, and the cops found his weed, and they thought he had been drinking, and he hadn't been drinking, and they just basically threw his weed out and let him go, which was crazy. But so the third time, I text him because he's the guy I usually buy my weed from, and he came over and because he brings it like literally today. He just brought it to me on the couch. I just texted him and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "Not much," and I just told him what I wanted, and I didn't even get off the couch. He came to the couch and I handed him the money and he handed me it and he was out like that. So he came over to get it and like then all of a sudden they wanted the match or something, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then oh yeah, I had to go get the money from the ATM, and then we had to go get some blunt wraps. So I rode with them, and we already had like one blunt rolled at the house, so we just blunt wrapped. We were blunt riding, and we smoked the blunt, went and got the money out, and we were stopped at the gas station where we got the Rillos, and then we were turning out of the gas station with the one blunt that we had already rolled and the weed and the blunt wraps. We needed to wrap the second blunts because we were matching. So we were smoking it, and then like we see this car coming over the hill, and my buddy's friend's like, "Hey man, that's GSP." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh damn!" And he's turning around. I saw the cop hit his brakes, and he turned around and we were freaking out. And my buddy handed me the blunt because I think it was my hit, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, what should I do with this? What should I do with this?" And I handed it to my buddy's friend, and he fucking ate it. And then I had my weed with me, like the baggie, and I was like, "Oh crap, crap!" And I couldn't like the cop was already almost getting out of his car by the time I got my baggie of weed and found it, and I couldn't eat it, so I like stuffed it under the seat And like my friend's buddy lit up a cigarette, and I'm like, damn it, he lit up a cigarette. That's gonna get us caught. The cops immediately gonna think we're trying to hide weed from him. But anyways, like as we're rolling the windows down, there's smoke like coming out as the officer's walking up. It's like blowing in his face, and he comes in on the passenger side for some reason. And the first thing the kid does is blow cigarette smoke in his face, and the officer's like, "Don't blow cigarette smoke in my face." And my buddy's like, "Oh, me, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." Man. He's like, "Please don't." He's like, "Yeah, my bad." And anyways, he tells us why he's pulling us over because the kid had a headlight out and he knew it, and he was still blunt cruising with a headlight out. And then he asks for the license and registration, and John gives him that. And John's not even his name. I'm not gonna say people's real name in the videos because, it's just not. I don't. I want to be anonymous. But anyway, he hands him his ID and everything, and like he walks off, and the cop comes back and asks if his current ID, or if he's still living at home. And he's like, no, that's my current ID. And the cop's like, well, you have 60 days to get this changed. She's like, yeah, I just haven't got it done. I've been trying to. And then the cop's like, well, and he was letting them off with a warning on that and on the headlight. And then John was like, what if I move every 60 days? And he's like, well, do you move every 60 days? I'm like, John, you don't move every 60 days, man. Just come on, you know, play it cool. And I'm like, we're sorry, officer. I'm like trying to get John to shut up, and he keeps arguing. And like, so John gets out and fixes his headlight while the cop's like walking away. And the cop's like, what are you doing? He's like, fixing my headlight. He's like, do you need any help? And we're like, no, 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 we're good. And so like, he fixes it, and we like take off. And we're like, oh my fucking gosh, oh my gosh. And like the whole time I'm trying to still hide this weed like up in the seam of his seat, so it's not just laying underneath his seat. And they like thought I ate it, and I like pull it out. I've still got it, so they were like all excited that I still had it. But we were like, damn, I can't believe we didn't get caught. Like there was smoke hitting that cop in the face, like from the blunt when he was walking up. So we get back to the house, man, and we rolled that blunt, and I'm so glad we got high before we got pulled over by the cops and high after, because when we got high after, like we got stoned, and it was just fucking crazy. Not a very fun experience. I don't blunt cruise anymore. In fact, I don't even ride with that kid if he's smoking anymore. I barely ever ride with him, and I barely even go by his house. I like him coming here. But yeah, it was just so sketchy. And gosh, now that I'm high and talking about it, it's kind of got me like pumped up and kind of scared again. Um, but yeah, that's the story of when me and my friend get pulled over while we are blunt cruising and somebody had to eat the blunt. But you guys stay medicated. Comment down below and let me know if you want to hear more stories like this, because I have a ton of cop stories. And make sure subscribe. Thank you.